Hey guys, how's it going today? Coming at you with a little bit of a longer video. So one of my favorite coaches in the industry is Sean Foley. He used to coach Tiger Woods, coaches a lot of players on tour now. I'm very into the biomechanics of the golf swing. So one of the things he talks about a lot, and I wanted to kind of go into, is how you earn rotation in the golf swing. Rotation is not something you can simply do, it's something that must be earned through a lot of things that must be set in place before you can actually accomplish rotating. So a lot of people simply think that because when there's not a ball there, they can get really open and they should be able to do that in the normal swing. Well, that's just simply not true. But first, let's talk about why rotation is important. So when you rotate your body, it's another way of slowing the rate of closure of the club face. Because when you rotate your body, it naturally squares up the club face some. If I were to try to keep my body closed and put this club face on the ball, you would see a lot of closure in the club face, and that's very hard to time up. So when your hands start to arc around your body through rotation, it makes your club face angle a little bit more consistent and slows the rate of closure. Now, to earn rotation, there are a few things that have to be set in place. You simply can't go to the top and rotate and think you're going to have a functional impact, and here's why. Going to the top and simply rotating is going to cause your hands to get way out in front of you, and from here, there are a lot of things that are going to happen. More than likely, you'll either A, early extend to get these hands to stay in a little bit longer, or you'll just stall your rotation and then flip your arms. Or third, what I see with better players are they actually do start to rotate, but to keep these hands inside a little bit longer, they add a lot of side bend, and that leads to big flip hooks if you can't time it up right. So, to earn proper rotation, here are some things we have to have in place first. One, our club face has to be closing in the downswing. If this club face is open and we keep rotating, that's just going to cause the club face to slow the rate of closure, and we're going to hit huge blocks. So having a closed club face, when we rotate, it allows us to actually open it up a little bit. So we need to get that club face closing coming down so we can rotate to offset it. Principle number 2 is that the club head and the hands have to be behind our body. The club head has to be behind the hands, and the hands have to be behind the body. The reason for this is, if I have my club head way out here, I know you can't see it in the camera frame, but if I had my club head way out here and I start to rotate, I would miss the ball way outside of it. If I had my hands way out here, but the club head's still inside, same thing. I would still miss the ball way outside of it. So my body naturally would not let me rotate if I had those in place. However, conversely, if I have my hands and club head way on the inside, well, the only way I can put this club head on the ball is through lots of body rotation. So having the hand path moving more behind us rather than out in transition is a really good way to add rotation. Now, because we're moving these hands, if I were to not have any body movement, you would see the hands actually move like this. But because we have the intention to hit the ball, we'll actually see the body start to open up as well. And it ends up being almost like a 45-degree hand path, because the rotation causes the hands to move 180 degrees this way. The dropping of the hands causes the hands to move 90 degrees in that direction. So when we add those two together, we actually start to see something like this, more of a 45-degree hand path. So when we talk about earning rotation, a lot of the big things we see are the ability to keep the hands inward, and that can be done through lowering the hands and also having hand depth in the backswing. If we have really high hands, it's going to be hard for you to actually reroute your hands behind you. You'll probably end up side bending a lot, a la Justin Thomas. It is doable, but it's probably not the most consistent method. So, to talk about earning rotation, we need hands that are staying inward a little bit longer, a club head that is pitching behind our hands, and a club face that is closing. Now, my favorite drill to work on all of these, and you've probably seen it before, is I go to the top here, and I stay in my backswing posture, and I lower these arms down. By staying in my backswing posture, it allows me to lower the hands without side bending, so I can't cheat it. This would be cheating it. If I'm staying in my backswing posture and I'm lowering the hands, that allows me to feel what it's supposed to feel like in the full swing. So I go to the top here, pause for a beat, lower these hands down so the shaft is parallel to the ground, and then I'd make sure that the club face is parallel to my spine angle once the shaft is parallel to the ground. That's how you know it's square. So lower it down, and then from here, you'll notice that my hands are way inside my body and the club head is inside my hands. Then from there, I'd hit the ball. And that's going to require a lot of body rotation. I love that drill. Then you can eventually progress it into speeding up slowly and slowly until you get a more full swing. So this would be, that would be a slower swing. And then you can eventually add speed until you start to get it all the way into your normal on-course speed. Happy golfing.